Hello, this is Dan advising you how to make sprouted bread. Get yourself a sprouting jar with a lid on it with a screen. Put your wheat berries in it and water it let it soak the first time with pure water, filtered water, for 18 hours. And then pour out the water and let it sit for about another 10 hours, 12 hours or so, and then rinse them wheat berries again. After a few days of rinsing the wheat berries, you'll find that they sprout like so. You can buy a 25-pound bag of wheat berries for under $20 at a lot of feed stores, particularly Amish stores. If you have a Champion juicer, you can grind your wheat berries like so, and if you don't have a Champion juicer, you can grind them with a hand grinder. It's okay to add a little extra water to the batch. It gives a little better texture if it's thinner. You'll want to add your sweeteners. We use sorghum and molasses, blackstrap molasses. Also throw a little coffee, instant coffee in with the batter and a little bit of olive oil. And then just mix it together, hand mix it together. We're going to put it into a bread machine, half sprouted wheat and half white unbleached flour for best texture of the bread. We also have to have salt. Salt at, I would say, a batch this size, no more than 2 tablespoons or less. We also made a caraway tea that we're going to add to the mix once it cools down. You don't want to add it when the yeast is added, or you'll kill the yeast if it's too hot. This is what the batter looks like, the sprouted wheat batter looks like before we put it in the bread machine. We don't have any yeast in it. Yeast will be added in the bread machine. We are unconcerned about the wheat to flour ratio right now because we're going to add liquid or flour when we're putting it in the bread machine. We measure nothing. We put in about half of the batter along with all-purpose unbleached flour. We add 2.5 teaspoons or 3 teaspoons of yeast. The reason why we're unconcerned about the amount of dough is we're not going to cook the bread in the bread machine. We're just using it for mixing the batter. Depending on the consistency of the batter, you might add a little bit more water or milk or flour until you get the right consistency. The batch was a little too moist, so we're adding the flour about a tablespoon at a time to get the right consistency for the dough. This is about the right consistency right here. The dough is in a ball, in the shape of a ball, and it's a little sticky, and it's going to go through one rising about 20 minutes in the bread machine. Put the remaining batter in a cool, dark place. We'll use it again in a few days. The dough sours a little bit, that's good. It just gives the bread a little bit more character. Okay, it's 20 minutes later. The bread is going through a kneading cycle right now. We can take it out and cut it up for putting it in baking pans and kneading it a little bit more with some flour. Spread some flour out on a breadboard like this, and then pour your batter in it. After your bread is kneaded, put it in 2 grease pans and put a little oil on top. Cover your bread with plastic, lightly cover it. Don't smother it. If your house is cold, use a heating pad like the one I got underneath to help it through its second rise. It's a half hour later and the bread is roughly doubled in size. It's time to heat up the oven. We put the stove on 350 for 1 hour. Okay, this is what she looks like after an hour in the oven. You can see that the bread fell. The bread was too moist. It would have been better if I would have kneaded it in the bread machine rather than on a bread board. But the bread dough was too moist, and that's why it didn't rise as well as it should have. And it's still good. Still got all the nutritional stuff in there. And the next loaf of bread I'm going to do right. Okay. What you got on there? Just butter?
Butter.
No garlic or nothing?
I'm thinking about putting some grape jelly on it.
Oh, that just takes away the taste. Anyway, Donna likes to have the end, the crust. So, there we go.
The heel.
The heel. All right.
Delicious.